All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to some more round of 16 action in the Osumania 4Key World Cup 2021. We're going to be seeing two matches in this block with us two as commentators, myself being Toph Daddy, and I am joined by Halogen. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well, and this is exciting. We're going to get to see, right as we see here, Philippines versus Canada. This is going to be an intense match, for sure.
Yeah, number 9 seed versus the number 8 seed. Very close in terms of the seeding, as we saw. And I think both of these teams have very clear advantages when it comes to certain types of charts. Canada historically being relatively weak on long notes, though that has been amended pretty significantly this year. But still, I think when you're up against a team like Philippines, I think LNs are still going to be like the more uncomfortable area to be if you're Canada.
Another thing about Canada, too, is compared to previous years, this roster is really well rounded up. With the addition of Dale and Stability, they've got just this really full coverage, both on the physical side, but just for just about everything that they touch. And I'm really excited to see if Canada actually continues their forward push in the tournament here. And the Philippines, very seasoned team. Lots of players who have been in the tournament circuit one way or another, and they're going to be here for a fight.
Yeah, I think Philippines is a generally very well-rounded team as well, but I think they are potentially heavier focused on powerhouses in specific areas, where you have someone like Els who's like a powerhouse in long notes as a specific area, and you have Swarmzy who's pretty much one of the best, rice-sided players in the entire tournament. So you have that kind of like double dynamic of Canada sort of trying to push their well-roundedness as like specific team members, and Philippines sort of having that the opposite end of that, where they're just trying to push their skill sets as high as they can go.
We see the results of roles. They're not entirely sure. I'm assuming Canada lost the role in this case, and they're banning Lawn Wake 9.
That's an interesting ban. I think they might just be uncomfortable with the OD 9.1, which is, but I think that's mostly fine, or they're just giving a lot of respect to the players like Swarmzy on the Philippines team who are going to be able to crush stuff like that.
Yeah, the OD 9.1 definitely going to be in play for those who aren't extremely competent and comfortable with their rice. Lawn Wake really pushes you. Even if you're a strong rice player, getting all of those notes within the tightness of OD 9.1 is an extremely non-trivial task.
Yeah, it sort of makes that whole idea of getting good accuracy on Lawn Wake, there's a certain bridge you have to cross to be able to FC something like Lawn Wake 9. And then for other charts, being able to get good accuracy on them is like a little bit forward. You just have to push that. But with something like Lawn Wake 9 with the tricky patterning, and then on top of the OD 9.1, that bridge is just like a mile away. So that difference is going to be a lot starker for a map like that.
That it is. We see Philippines opening up with a hybrid Shaku Shane. Interesting.
That's actually, I think that's a really interesting thing. I think they're going to be focusing on the long notes and hybrids for the most part this match. But starting off with something like Shaku Shane, where it's going to be important to keep consistency, which we've seen Philippines a little bit lacking over the years. I think that's one of their biggest weaknesses, being able to keep combo consistently on these kinds of charts, even if they are at round of 16 level, which the Philippines is more than capable of handling.
Yeah, not putting aside the enhanced difficulty of the pools here, but Shaku Shane, as far as the pool goes, I would say is probably one of the least physically demanding picks, but it's intrusive enough to be relatively difficult to score on if you're not on your toes. There's a lot that happens in this map between the bursts, some long notes that kind of weave in and out of your patterns, and then we have it's a slightly reduced OD, but something that I've noticed from playing this map is the song itself kind of lends itself to feeling a little drifty on act, even though it's not. So the OD 7.4 thankfully helps with that, but not as much as you would think.
Yeah, the vocals can definitely be a little bit intrusive when you're trying to get good accuracy on this, because the attack of the sounds tends to shift a little bit off of the beats that the actual notes are representing. So it can be a little bit tough to keep the accuracy, but I think consistency is going to be really important for this one.
Yeah, with these two teams who are as close as they are, I mean, even 200s, depending on the outcome of how the song just progresses, even 200s could end up being fatal later down the line. And we see Piggy, Dale, Stability for Canada, Silhaleska L, Swarmzy, and Mystery L for the Philippines, opening out this particular match.
Yeah, Canada, not too surprising to see that lineup. Dale and Stability, like you said earlier, kind of that grounding for the well-roundedness of Canada, that, you know, the newfounded well-roundedness of Canada. And Mystery L, I'm not sure if they were on the team last year, but they're definitely a solid improvement in terms of the long notes and hybrid abilities. Silhaleska Elza obviously going to be in for something like this, and Swarmzy, I think, just, you know, the long note difficulty isn't so heavy that he's incapable of pushing for it right now.
A quarter of the way through, the Philippines with a very slight edge, but these accuracies are just neck and neck. Very slight advantage for Philippines there, as we see Dale slipping right around the 99.7 threshold, whereas everybody in the Philippines is at least 99.8 or around that area.
Oh, and a miss from Dale is not going to help the disadvantage that Canada was at. Like I said, looks like the consistency is actually starting to hit Canada instead of Philippines. 3 full combos still holding strong for the Philippines. And we're getting into a more LN heavy section in just a little bit, which should favor the Philippines overall.
At this point, Canada's job is going to obviously, of course, make sure that Dale gets back to the combo cap, but also ensuring that they keep their 200 count low, as even though those long notes aren't super difficult, there is a certain level of intrusion with them that can cause you to drop just a little bit of accuracy.
Oh, but as you say that, Piggy does find a miss as well. Mystery L trading that back, though. Still a 1 miss advantage in the side of Philippines, and the accuracy from Swarmzy doing a very good job of keeping that advantage that Stability would otherwise be giving Canada.
Despite having the miss, Mystery L at a 99.8, superb accuracy, and returning back to the combo cap here. So Philippines are definitely going to take advantage of this, having 2 full combos on the board.
Yeah, very clean. And all players are back up to that 400 combo cap, so the score shouldn't be changing other than from the accuracy difference, which is in the favor of Philippines, which means that lead is just going to start increasing from here on out. There are a couple of tricky patterns in this ending, though. I find myself having issue with one specific one that's about 100 notes away from the end. I'm curious to see what happens with it.
I know exactly what pattern you're talking about. It is so uncomfortable. It's right around, they just passed, I think.
Mine is like right at the end of this chorus.
Oh, okay.
That pattern right there. No one finds any issues, but so it looks like Philippines is going to make that a good first pick for them. No issues on their side, and, you know, going off to Canada for their first pick, 1-0 in favor of Philippines.
And a good start. Canada should have no reason to really be phased there.
Wow.
Wasn't their pick. Wow. 2-1 on Canada. 1-4, not the cleanest of 4s, and then 10 from Dale. Both sides just really good scores all about. Even with the misses, these accuracies are very good.
Yeah, getting a 983 with 1 miss is Dale's score is very strong just based on that. But it's going to be hard to take that and run when the lowest player on Philippines had a 989K.
And a 989 with a miss on top of it all. That's even more impressive.
So that is going to be Philippines' first pick. Canada's moving forward. I could potentially see an SV pick coming up, but I think given Canada's general play style, they're going to want to go for Rice first, which they do. They're going for the consistency-based Rice pick. I think I said earlier about Philippines kind of shaky past when it comes to consistency. So I think Canada might just be trying to attack that side of the Philippines team.
And I think that's a really good angle to take here. Dale, of course, staying, and we've seen that Dale's entry into Canada has definitely helped on the consistency front there. We're going to see Lofus coming in. Not too much of a surprise there, as Piggy and Lofus, both very strong Rice players. No changes on the Philippines side, though.
It looks like Swarmzy's a little confused right now. Not sure if he's going to be staying in. Potentially switching out for someone who would be more comfortable with the straightforward picks, but Swarmzy not being comfortable with something like this would be a bit of a surprise.
It might be more of a question of maybe ratio, perhaps. Maybe there's concerns about keeping the counts low enough. Swarmzy also asking if it's a hybrid. That's not good.
Not the best sign, but luckily for a map like this, for Swarmzy, I should say, this is not the hardest map to sight read in the pool. Not by a long shot.
Oh, absolutely. Once you get a general feel for how the map is and you get a general feel for it very quickly, you can just tunnel into that feel for a good majority of it.
Yeah, there are a couple breaks that you will tend to break your concentration, but I think the biggest difficulty of the chart is just the density, and someone like Swarmzy's not going to have issues with that.
Yeah, from a physical front, this is going to be trivial for Swarmzy, Piggy, and Lofus for sure. And probably Elze as well. Mystery L and Dale are probably going to be fine, but it's going to be a matter of keeping the accuracy not good, but pristine. These two teams are so close that they need to just give it everything.
Yeah, Swarmzy, Piggy, and Lofus should be around the same accuracy as each other. Silhouesca might be a little bit below that, potentially. But I think the interesting portion is going to be Mystery L versus Dale. And Mystery L from the last map we saw had very strong accuracy. So he could really be the push that Philippines needs to, maintain a lead, even on the Rice portion of this pool.
And not necessarily a major component of the map here, but we can get a sense of the general ratio. There's Swarmzy with a 99.99 as we open up.
Yeah, and here we go with the lighter bit of jump stream. It'll be important to watch when the chorus hits, but this is going to start giving us an even better idea of where the accuracy lies. And looking at that score bar, not much of an advantage for either team. It is looking like Elze is the lowest on Philippines, Lofus being the lowest on Canada, which is actually a bit of a surprise given how Lofus was performing last week, having very high 99.9s on that map pool.
Yeah, let's get this straight right now. This particular pick, normally when we're talking about tournament maps, we're saying, oh yeah, some 200s could be an issue here. This is a map where just 300 counts could be potentially fatal.
Yeah, and just based on this, it looks like Swarmzy is the one making the difference in accuracy right now. I think Philippines actually does have a slight accuracy advantage just off of that 99.98.
I think they're both missing 21 to 22 accuracy points. This is super, super close. I mean, this is a dead heat as far as I can see here.
Yeah, you got Lofus matching up to Elze. Oh, I just said her name. I said her name and she missed.
Elze with the drop, they're going to have to quickly recover the combo cap. Canada holding very, very solid. 3 full combos, all pristine accuracy. Lofus, the lowest at 0.83, but still holding solid. Swarmzy still holding a 99.97 at the break.
Yeah, 99.97 and 99.91. Very strong, but it's going to be a matter of Silvesca Elze being able to keep that combo cap up now that she has made it back. And potentially hoping for a miss from Canada, because unless there's big accuracy drops, I think a combo break is necessary now.
I would tend to agree for sure. We get a little bit of a density increase after this break, so there is some more opportunity as long as, composure is broken.
This ending chorus is a bit longer than the first one, so that density is going to have to be kept up for a long time. Losing focus is very easy in this ending.
We kick off the last quarter of the map with Canada having under a 10,000 point advantage, some breathing room on account of a combo break, but not a lot. You cannot get completely caught off guard here.
Yeah, coming in the last quarter, we've got about 600 combo left, so a miss right about now would still give a huge amount of score away to the opposing team.
But as we say that, no players really finding much of anything. All the scores holding basically as solid as they can be. No one even tapering downward. Lofus taking a 0.01 hit briefly before coming back up.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Philippines, this probably would have been a point for them because Elze's accuracy is ahead of Lofus's with a miss. That miss is making the entire difference between these two teams' scores.
Winding down the map here, Canada taking the point with a team score of 2.987, and that is 3 200s across Canada's team. Only one for Philippines, but Silvesca Elze with the miss. And the ratio is Swarmzy with 100. Forget what the hell I was talking about. That ratio is great.
Yeah, I think the conversation about Swarmzy was just because he didn't know it was jump stream. Once he saw it was jump stream, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in for this. I got this."
We going. And again, just like the previous song, Silvesca Elze, Shake It Off was not your pick, and we move forward. It is a best of 9 now instead of 11. Let's go. Let's go.
1-1 back to Philippines pick. I could see another hybrid, or they went with Capcel. Capcel coming out. kind of what is meant to be like the mixed LN pick, like the techie LN pick, which I think I could agree with that title as far as in the map pool, but this map is hard. It's really hard compared to the other two. It's hard to keep accuracy. It's very easy to drop 200s. You have to be very focused.
Yeah, combo is not a difficulty for this map, but you can throw 200s absolutely everywhere because there's disjointed releases, some pretty difficult flams. If you're not on your toes, it's just accuracy drops so quickly.
Yeah, and those LN bursts in that middle section are accuracy killers. Another pick I think that does favor Philippines. I mean, they're making good picks as of right now. It's going to be really interesting if this match goes like the distance. You know, what these two teams are going to be going for later on. I think I mentioned this earlier in the match, but Canada, I think, has a pretty good advantage when it comes to SVs, at least between these two teams. So I could see them going for Gimme the Blood later on in the match if they find themselves drawn into a corner. But Philippines is going to be in a bit of an interesting position once the main long note picks. And I think there's one, I mean, we've got Etude and Discordia left in the hybrid. So maybe they're just going to be, you know, slamming on those and hoping that that's enough to push Canada off their feet.
Yeah, once the map pool gets depleted, it's the track's going to definitely be interesting. And as we get started with song number 3 out of a possible 11 here, number of changes here. We see Nunotaba Shinobu coming in for Canada, Sorelia coming in for the Philippines.
Makes sense. Probably don't want Stormzy in on a more release-oriented LN pick. So fair swap on both sides. Nunotaba had a very strong Tota Stream score last round. So I'm not surprised to see them taking Lofus's spot in this.
Yeah, agreed. They're the other part of that. I guess we can call quote-unquote anti-meta squad, even though long notes are starting to be very much identifiable within the meta. But anti-Rice team here. Canada off to a solid start there with accuracy, but Nunotaba finding a little bit of a drop.
Yeah, we're starting to get into the more difficult sections to get good accuracy on those. Silhouette Elza is staying around the same accuracy as Nunotaba, so the overall lead for either team is not going to be significant right now. But it does look like it's actually in favor of Canada.
Stability with a 99.90! What?
Holding down the fort for Canada right now, highest in the lobby. And so we've got Stability ahead of Sorelia, Piggy matching Mystery L, and L's being just above Nunotaba. This is pretty much evenly matched right now.
Yeah, the score just keeps flickering back and forth, red to blue here. We're getting to some more difficult timing. Some of these releases can be really obnoxious to deal with.
Yeah, arguably the hardest part to time. Stability finding some accuracy drops, but Philippines is staying very consistent. They have now taken that accuracy lead off of this middle section.
And a little bit of a breather as we get to the last fourth of the song there. Less than 10,000 points. Actually, this is even smaller than that. I think it's only about 6,000.
Yeah, it's very close in any case. I think Stability is the one hope for Canada right now. Accuracy drops are going to be very important. This ending is pretty similar to the beginning, so Canada should be able to get a bit of an advantage from this section, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Mystery taking a little bit of a dip there. Meanwhile, Silhoesca Elze taking a really, really good increase, and this is coming down to the line here, but Philippines is looking to take this. Wow. 3,200 points. And wow, the issues with Elze. The issues with Elze were just 300s. They were not 200s at all.
Yeah, Stability still taking the highest score in this lobby with a 994. 200s though, almost giving Els that MVP slot, but still Philippines getting that victory off of the accuracy drops in that middle section. Like I said, difficult bursts, difficult flams, hard to keep constant releases going.
That 10-1 by Stability is incredible. Wow. This is a really hard map to get good ratio on, and seeing 10-1 on that is just, it's really impressive.
Oh, Canada going for the SVs early. I expected this to be saved for later, but I think they're feeling confident enough to just get it out right now. They want that point.
It's so interesting seeing Canada taking the helm with SVs, and again, you know, reiterating that number 3 seed on the SV pick coming into play here, and this is a pretty tricky map.
Yeah, I think what the thing about the SVs from this round is that the SV picks are very hard to act. They're so hard to get good accuracy on. There's like 10 or 15 places in each of them where even if you know the charts like the back of your hand, 200s can get dropped because of a misread. This is going to be a really interesting map to see.
We see Dale make a return for Canada. Kura appearing for the first time this match for the Philippines.
Yeah. Kura coming in for the first time means that they probably put a lot of practice into this, is what I expect. They were pretty much assigned to the SV pick out of the gate.
Yeah, dedicated role, and that's good when you can dedicate all of your time to SVs, knowing that that's your responsibility.
Yeah, I think from previous years, Kura was known as a very heavy late game player as far as like long notes and the Rice portion went. But for early game, I don't know if their accuracy is there, so they can focus that attention on the SVs when it's necessary.
And here we go, song number 4 out of a possible 11. Canada looking to even the playfield.
Not the strongest start from L is finding, I think, a 200 in one of those patterns early on, giving Canada the accuracy lead going into this first KI section. Mystery L at 99.97 right now. Stability.
Yeah, Stability having some timing issues. I think there might have been some trouble on the releases on the first iteration of them. Catching up now, but at the moment, Philippines taking a lead as a result of that.
Yeah, quite a big one, too. This is one of the bigger leads we've seen in this match. We've got Kura and Mystery L both above that 99.7, and L's right behind, edging up to that 99.7 range. The only one above it right now on Canada's side is Piggy at the 99.87, but they're going to need Stability and Dale to come back with their accuracy if they're going to want to bring that lead back.
As we transition into the second half, I personally find this second half to be a pain.
Yes, I agree. Definitely harder than the first half to get down because of some of the weird visual gimmicks that it decided to go with for some of their patterns. Some unexpected slowdowns that just will cause...
Ooh! Oh! That drop, that was the worst possible chop there. Now you gotta get through the entirety. Kura finding a drop as well.
That's such an unfortunate set of drops, and you know, like we said, Canada's been really pushing their luck on SVs. They've been practicing it. I don't see them missing in this second half. I could see accuracy drops, but on a team like Canada, misses are probably not going to happen.
I definitely feel inclined to agree here. And Canada showing the work that they've been putting on SVs. This is, again, a non-trivially difficult SV pick, and they're making it look pretty easy as a unit.
Yeah, and that lead is stretching to about 30,000 now, just off of those two misses. With how few notes, I guess that's not so surprising, but massive lead for Canada, giving them their second point. 2-2, no break points thus far.
Piggy, hello.
96.
We see you.
Wow.
Piggy.
Not to mention Stability 109, just having that 100 in an unfortunate spot, keeping him from that clean FC.
Mystery, we see you too.
Oh,
hello.
The ratios are insane on this.
Yeah, these are some whack scores. Oh my god.
But yeah, misses causing the downfall of Philippines on this pick. 40,000 points of difference, but the Philippines are going to have their pick now, and they can hopefully try to get that momentum back.
I love what I saw in the chat. We can't call the Mystery L by their name. We need to say the Mystery Dub. Let's go.
Mystery W. Let's go. Paintings, oh yeah, not a surprising pick. Especially after that nice Cav Cell win in the previous pick. I think Philippines is going to be safely going for the rest of the long notes from now. What's interesting actually about this is that I think Sakura Mirage is going to be an interesting point of contention between these two teams, because releases should be in Philippines' favor, but the more dense LNs is going to be a little bit closer, because Canada's very strong when it comes to the more dense and less release-oriented LNs.
Yeah, we're gonna be entering some dicey territory very soon. for the Philippines. They're going to really have to start pushing on the rice and just the general less comfortable parts of the long note game with respect to playing against their opponents.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the last, like, extremely safe pick for the Philippines. It's the last one that is going to be like, okay, if we play like we normally do, we should take the point, right? So it's one of those things where you're just going to need to, keep your mind blank, make sure you win this, because if Philippines loses this pick specifically, they're going to be in a bad position starting from now on.
Yeah, their road to victory will get tremendously more treacherous.
Yeah, I say if Philippines does lose this, I think they might end up just carrying that loss to the end of the match. This is an important point for them. And here we go, starting off on paintings. Oh yeah, shoutouts to the French tournament from 5 years ago and Soft 2.
I still can't even believe that this is in the round of 16 at a higher OD than in Soft 2 when it was in semis.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of situations like that with, I think in Speed of Light 2 with another one of Juan's charts, Shotgun Senorita, on a higher OD being used in round of 16, which, like, we're seeing such a huge improvement in the abilities of the general player base on release-based long note charts. That's just what we're seeing.
Hitting the first chorus, their stability with a 99.96. Celestia Elze also doing a really solid job above the 99.9 threshold as well. Both teams just fighting back and forth in terms of ratio, and as you can see, the score is just flickering back and forth.
Yeah, Sorelia was having a bit of an issue, was the lowest by about 0.1%, but Piggy has now joined Sorelia at that zone, so the scores are going to be very close now. A third of the way. Oh, well, we're reading each other's minds.
Third of the way in, and it's nothing.
This from Piggy is going to be a big damper on that score from Canada.
Celestia Elze finding a very slight control issue. They're dropping a 200, but managed to recompose quickly. The lead is going to grow for Philippines on account of Piggy's miss as Piggy tries to return to that combo cap.
Yeah, but still, stability with a 99.93 halfway through the chart. That is ridiculous. Piggy with another miss, though, is not going to help anything. They're going to have to keep combo and hope for some misses. This can be pretty tricky to keep combo, and especially this section with the flams. But they're going to need a couple misses from Philippines, especially given that they have the accuracy advantage.
This is such a coordination-intense pick, and there we see Mystery L finding a drop. It is mentally exhausting to stay focused for the entirety of this pick. Thankfully,
that's a second miss from a different person. That's going to be more significant than Piggy's 2.
And we're going to see that red bar shrink and potentially go back in the direction of Canada, but I don't know if it's going to completely flip. We'll have to see here.
We've got 200 combo left for Sorelia, and the next miss from Philippines. That's giving a huge advantage to Canada. 2 full combos still to 0. And on top of that, with stability's 99.91% accuracy, that might just carry them to the end of this.
Sorelia finding another drop. This ending has some difficult patterning, but there's not a lot of notes left.
There's gonna need this lead was bigger than when after Piggy's second miss. It's gonna take a lot for Philippines to bring this back.
Yeah, the song is basically over. They don't have enough time, and Canada is going to take probably the most important breakpoint of the match.
This is going to be a huge morale booster for Canada right here. This is where the momentum starts, especially on a release release and coordination oriented LN pick. That is a huge win for Canada.
Stability, what the hell?
Yeah, 996.8. That's not legal. I'm sorry. I have to say that. I don't know about that one, Chief.
Oh my god. What is that? All right. Philippines now in a little bit more of a precarious situation here. Still a route to potentially get 5 points, but a much tougher one now.
Yeah, they're going to need to get at least one break point to at least get them to the full point where they can get a tiebreaker. But you know, there are 4 rice picks left. Canada needs 3 points for that victory. They're looking pretty strong. If Canada can win their own points, they have this victory. But Philippines' accuracy was showing to be very strong on Robotic Girl. Robotic Girl was lost because of a miss from Siloeska.
And Canada turning the dial up to 11 here with Die Winnipeg. We're almost certainly going to see Swarmzy come back on the Philippines, and I imagine Mystery's going to stay, but who's going to be their last player?
I am actually curious about that too. Maybe Kura would come back in for this. I could definitely see that being the case. Kura and Swarmzy being the last 2.
So it looks like
J1002 might be that 3rd player. They just have to switch with Lopez here. I haven't seen a whole lot from Jay this tournament, so I'm curious to see how this goes.
Yeah, not sure how this is going to go. And in my opinion, this is another thing I want to say too. We've talked about how strong of a roster Canada has in terms of well-roundedness, but in terms of, you know, physicality, this is a more physical pick. So eyes on Dale here, as Dale has been such a really strong, well-rounded player for just about everything that they've been touching. This is where they're going to have to push it a little bit. On the Philippines side, Swarmzy, the Mystery L, and J1002 coming in for Winnipeg, and this is going to be an extremely rough fight for both teams here. All you can hope with regards to this match dynamic is that the Philippines responds back with a breakpoint of their own, and that is an extremely tall order. And we get the MP start signal. We're going to be getting underway here with Die Winnipeg. Song number 6 out of a possible 11. Canada taking a break point. Philippines hoping to respond back with a break point of their own to even things up once more.
Yeah, another pretty important point in this match. This is, in my personal opinion, the 2nd most physically demanding pick in the pool. The most demanding probably being Brain Fog. But this is going to be a showing of the top capabilities of these two teams. 225 BPM is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, and when you're going for ratio, keep in mind, this is OD 8.5 on top of it, so you've got to exert if you want that accuracy.
Yeah, Jay coming out, keeping that combo, being the lowest accuracy right now, but keeping it in a point where Swarmzy and Mystery L are able to help keep the score within striking range of Canada.
We're going to get the pace reset in just a moment here. These little intermittent breaks, and once we get through this section, it's going to start moving pretty forcefully with not a lot of break.
Here we go, hand stream starting right about now, and I think there's pretty much one break after this, like in between this and the final hand stream section, and then you don't get any more.
Yeah, this is just going to be a sprint to the finish, and one that lasts for quite a while.
Yeah, Swarmzy having a 0.06% lead on Piggy, and Mystery L being slightly ahead of Lopez. Jay coming back a little bit, being just behind Dale, but close enough that Swarmzy's accuracy advantage is giving Philippines the score lead right now.
We're down to the last 4th here. Philippines trying to hang on to this and potentially take a breakpoint of their own. They're running out of Canada's running out of time to take this back.
This lead's getting small though. Though Jay's accuracy is not changing, Dale's is down and now tied with him. Swarmzy might be able to take this home for the Philippines coming into the last couple hundred notes.
Not too much left, only about 50,000 points left to get from every player, and they're about to finish it off here. Philippines responding with the breakpoint of their own.
Indeed, back to 3-3, a long note win for Canada and a rice win for Philippines. 51. Oh my god. There's one 200 in this whole lobby. 200 in the whole lobby.
5 V1 double S's on Winnipeg. And probably one of the most high-pressure situations you can imagine in this match so far.
Yeah, and extremely strong ratios from everyone, too. 231 being the worst on an OD 8.5 map? That's insane.
Oh my god. And the walls are closing in for both teams. We have nullified every song pick so far, and we're down to a best of 5.
We are indeed. We need 3 wins for either team, but this is looking closer and closer to being a tiebreaker match. But every comfortable pick, I think, is gone. I don't think there's a single comfortable pick left in this pool.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think brain fog is probably, in my opinion, but then that's me, the most comfortable pick remaining.
I mean, I don't know about it.
That's why I said for me, because I'm dumb when it comes to rice.
Yeah. I mean, I think Canada's going to probably try to stay with the rice because the last three are a bit more choke heavy and probably going to be more of where Canada's going to want to attack Philippines. But with the Philippines here, they have E2, Discordia, and Sakura Mirage being their, non-rice counterparts available to them. E2's really awkward. It can cause 200s in a lot of weird places. You can choke the release section really easily. Discordia is just hard. Like,
yeah, Discordia is absolutely brutal.
I think it's fair to say Discordia is the hardest pick in the pool. Like, almost undoubtedly.
And we're seeing Etude by the Philippines, and this pick is just scary. It doesn't matter what team you are, what you're good at, there is reason to be scared at some point in this map.
Yeah, this tests about everything you can think of. There's some weird bursts. That burst section in the middle is a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, we've seen teams miss time and time again on the density increase once the LN section has finished and we hit that rice. Right in between the first and second phrase of that section is a really big density increase, and the patterns get so incredibly tight, it's super easy to miss.
Not to mention that middle section is going to be a huge accuracy determiner for either team. Because, being able to control your fingers to hit bursts like that and get the jacks in the middle of them and then transition into LNs, all of that's going to take a lot of precision.
Oh my gosh. And this match is where we're going the distance here, even 3-3. And every pick at this point is so incredibly crucial now.
It's like Philippines was having some third player issues determining between Kura and Swarmzy, but it looks like Swarmzy's the one staying in, hopefully going to Mystery.
Yep, and potentially Kura. Oh, we're seeing. Okay, wait, no.
Oh, they're just swapping people.
Yeah, let's figure it out.
Swarmzy's back. I expect Mystery to be here because I think they are one of the strongest players for early game on Philippines teams, on everything.
Survey says who is the third player for the Philippines?
I think it should be Mystery. That's my personal opinion. Or it looks like they're trying to get Kura in.
Like I said, this map can go in so many ways.
Okay, Kura has opened that third slot for the Philippines. Looks like they are good now. I think they have all 6 players that are meant to be in this map. And they should be ready to go for Etude. I think the physically easiest pick in the pool, but definitely not the easiest overall.
No, it's like just an extremely difficult amalgamation of everything that's difficult about their corresponding genres of maps. Like,
yeah, T-Deck's very good at making things easy to play physically, but hard to play. Like, he just does it all the time. Saihate is another example of that, which was used last year in finals, which doesn't look like it should be that hard, but it is. It was. I don't even know how to describe it. It's not describable how actually difficult those kinds of charts are.
Physicality 1, execution difficulty 11 out of 10.
Yeah, it literally is that. Like, I think T-Deck has a history of doing stuff like that. Like, I mean, Burn This Moment. It's not that hard to play physically, but technically, it's very hard to keep yourself together on stuff like that. But we're looking at Etude right now, an example of that kind of chart, just on the easier end of the spectrum.
Out of the opening, we get some early long notes, not the most difficult in the map by far.
Yeah, definitely a chart that likes to develop its difficulty over time.
And this is just so scary to watch, oh my gosh.
Stability having some issues on those jacks, giving Philippines a bit of an accuracy lead. Els and Swarmzy at that 99.87 apiece, both above Piggy and Dale, respectively. So Philippines has a direct accuracy lead right now.
Nobody getting caught up on those overlapping LNs, but we get a second section right around the corner here.
Here comes the part that's going to determine a lot. This is really hard to keep accuracy on, and Piggy and Dale both finding some pretty significant accuracy drops. Els and Swarmzy staying alive. That lead on Philippines is growing now.
And here we get that right section. Watch this transition right here. No players getting caught up by it. Some accuracy from Cura, but not too much damage incurred by either side.
I think Piggy also found a little bit of 200 damage, but Els and Swarmzy holding up the fort for Philippines. Every single Canadian player below 99.7. And stability with him is, traded back by Cura, though.
Cura's drop was much more severe.
Yeah, it is. But Els and Swarmzy being the backup that Cura needs to keep that lead in favor of the Philippines right now. That accuracy is huge right now.
Getting ready to wind down. Not too much left. Some long notes. These aren't trivial, but they're not as hard as earlier sections here. And if all things go as they should, Philippines should maintain what they've got.
No one's going to mess up this ending, right?
Wow. And we continue.
Insanely close. But it looks like Philippines does take their own pick by the skin of their teeth, 4-3.
4,300 points. And Silhouesca Elze with a 1-200 run. Swarmzy with 2 200s, not too far behind.
Really good team score from Philippines. That even with that massive miss from Cura, I think that lost Cura like 15,000 points, and being able to, back up your teammates like that is a very big in the World Cup setting.
Canada's scores all very solid. Their stabilities misses being really tough to take, but I think even without those misses, they probably still don't win. But it's a lot closer, I think.
Yeah, but we're back on to Canada's pick, and we have 3 rice picks available that are all very tricky and risky to pick.
Yeah, so we've got Open Your Eyes, Brain Fog, and One of None.
Given Canada's playstyle, I think I would expect Open Your Eyes to come out. I think they like to stick with the more straightforward picks, the ones they feel that they're not going to miss off of like a random thing, where like in something like Brain Fog and One of None, it's very easy just to trip over yourself.
The other difficult thing about One of None is it's very easy to build incredibly bad habits on that map. The patterns are very anchor heavy, very uncomfortable to play through. It's decently fluent if you've got full control, but the moment your muscle memory gets spoiled, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you have to be extremely focused for One of None because of how intrusive the anchors are throughout the entire chart. Like, they don't stop. They are never not there. And that can be, and even if you're really focused, that can be a very huge detriment on your reading, because I have found myself personally trying to tense up to hit the anchors at a lot of points when it's not necessary, and losing stamina where I don't need to be.
Oh, but they go for it. One of None coming out by Canada.
Potentially, they're just looking at this as a sort of straightforward, like, broken jump stream kind of pick, something they're able to keep their accuracy on more significantly than something like Brain Fog or Open Your Eyes.
And I imagine we are most certainly going to see Loafus of Bread coming back for Canada, but the question is, what is the Philippines going to do here?
Swarmzy has to be coming back in, right?
I would hope so.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the same team from the Philippines, actually. I think Mistriel might come back in, maybe in place of Kerr or Els, but I would not expect a huge difference from Philippines roster.
Oh, is it going to be Piggy's Stability and Loafus?
Yeah, looks like Stability is staying in. This is at a point where Stability is able to flex their accuracy.
Swarmzy coming back in for the Philippines as expected.
Teams being reminded of tactical timeouts, which haven't been used, I think, at all this tournament yet. But a good thing to know that you have in case that you really need that break. Because in this kind of situation, 4-3, you're on your own pick, trying to get back to 4-4. This is an important pick for them.
So looking like Kura's gonna, there it is. Kura's gonna get swapped out for the Mistriel. That is a very sensible decision.
Yeah.
right. And it looks like Piggy is calling for the tactical timeout for Canada.
Just trying to get that break going, get themselves another 2 minutes to breathe, get water, go to the bathroom, do whatever they need to do before this pick, which is important. They need this pick at this point.
Yeah, and just a brief reminder here, a break point gives Philippines match point on their pick, so that would be absolutely disastrous.
Oh, are they trying to change the pick? Looks like they might not be wanting to go for one of none. I don't know. Can they do that? I've seen it done before, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if they'd want to change it to. I think one of none is a fine pick. It's just that all three of the picks available are kind of awkward. Okay, looks like we're getting word that it is allowed, and Canada will be allowed to change their pick.
I'm assuming that if the pick gets reverted, we're probably going to see... If I'm Canada, I'd probably expect to open your eyes.
Yeah, I would expect that as well.
With a team that's as physically oriented as Canada is on the top end, open your eyes is probably a reasonably safe pick.
Yeah, even with how easy the patterns are in it, then it can be very hard to keep up with. 308 BPM is a lot higher than we've seen at this round in previous years.
Yeah, this is normally quarterfinals level streaming, if I'm not mistaken. The overall difficulty has been kind of amplified with a smoother gradient upward, it seems like.
I think if we look back on like 2018 and 2019, the speed picks were around that like 310, 320 BPM range. I think the Joel chart that was used in 2018 was about 320. So like only being 12 BPM lower at this point in round of 16 is wild.
And it seems like one of none will remain the pick after all.
Okay, whatever works. I guess they just wanted to have a little bit more discussion since they realized they had that break ready. That's really all I can think of about what Canada would be doing as far as that works.
Oh, GD Mem.
Ooh, I haven't seen this in a while.
Piggy, GD Mem, and Lopez for Canada. And then we're seeing Sorelia, the Mystery L, and Swarmzy for the Philippines. So Sorelia returning once more.
Yeah, awkward enough on the right section that L's might not feel consistent enough on it to play something like this. Get someone like Sorelia in, bring them in and see if they can, amend that kind of consistency.
Oh boy. Song number 8 out of 11. Canada hoping to even the playfield once more.
Yeah.
A 4-4 result here on one of none. This is a scary pick in this kind of high pressure situation because it can all go wrong in an instant. And the OD 8.7 certainly doesn't help that.
Yeah, the good news for Canada is that even though this is a bit of a risky pick, everything else in the pool is also going to be a risky pick for Philippines. Neither team are going to get out of this easily because they're at the point where they've exhausted their comfortable picks. Which is interesting. It actually makes it kind of interesting because Soccer Mirage still has a good pick, which is a pure long note chart. That's still completely open for the Philippines, but it seems that they're respecting Canada's overall LN density capabilities as they saw in last round and on Gario Tensei from the qualifiers.
Coming back over here, Canada with a pretty substantial lead on account of Sorelia falling slightly behind compared to the rest of the lobby here, sitting at 99.40. All players still holding that full combo, and we are hitting the halfway point with Canada having about 4,000 points of advantage.
Yeah, 4,000 points of advantage. Not a whole lot when we're talking about this kind of map. One miss is going to be about 10,000 points of difference. So this jump stream section coming up is going to be extremely important.
And we're also hitting that, constant structure, which means accuracy will be important here.
And here we go. Piggy and Lopez staying above that 99.8. GDMM not too far behind. Swarmzy at 99.92. Sorelia, the big difference maker right now. Just being that far behind is enough. Client, I'm not believing that right now. Okay, they're reset. I don't think this lead is actually in favor of the Philippines either. I'm pretty sure it's still with Canada, but not by a whole lot. Yeah, that is no lead at all. But assuming they don't get tripped up, it looks like Canada does even it out 4-4, 2,900 points of difference.
78 V1SS, 149 V1SS for the Philippines. So 2 V1SSs there. A single 200 by the other Canada players and a V1SS by Lofus.
Those 100s from Sorelia might have been the difference maker, honestly. And I don't know when Sorelia got them, but given their accuracy at the beginning, they might have just had a flub at the beginning. You know, this is still anyone's game.
All right, guys, we are playing the best of 3 now. Y'all ready?
Best of 3. Each team needs 2 points. We're looking at a potential tiebreaker, and Philippines had a tiebreaker last round, so they might be going on 2 tiebreakers in a row, depending on how the next 2 picks go.
What an exhausting way to push through the bracket. Not 1 tiebreaker, but 2 tiebreakers in back-to-back rounds. And as we can see, this map pool is running very thin here. Open Your Eyes, Brain Fog, Discordia, and Sakura Mirage, the only picks remaining. And both teams are only going to pick one of these.
Yeah, I think I like looking at this graphic right now, because you can see the Canada zone and you can see the Philippines zone.
Whoa!
Discordia coming out. No Sakura Mirage pick coming out from Philippines. This is their last pick in this match. So unless Canada decides they want to go with a long note pick, Sakura Mirage is getting ignored.
This is wow. This is such a bold pick. I really like it.
They're looking for the chokes. That's pretty much it. This chart is so easy to mess up. I'm going to be interested to see the beginning of this, because those 3-note jacks are tough.
Yeah, just holding combo out of the intro is really difficult in this map. And even outside of the intro, this map is non-trivially physical. You gotta push if you want the accuracy on this.
Indeed, but the flip side of that is pushing too hard for accuracy can make things very hard to keep combo on, especially on something like this.
Absolutely, it's striking the balance where you're getting respectable accuracy, at least good enough to carry your team or carry yourself as a part of a team against another team. It's so nerve-wracking. You got to figure out exactly what to do. Yeah, and just hope that it's enough.
The way that the LNs intermingle with the Rice patterns in this is probably as uncomfortable as it gets for this kind of round, where the jacks kind of make you feel like you have to let go of the LNs all the time. It's just kind of how this kind of pick goes.
And the jacks are fast enough for players who are not as proficient at jacks to have to strain a little bit.
Yeah, 140 BPM is like, I mean, as far as talking about previous tournaments, that's like quarter semifinals speed. So we're not looking at something that's easy to hit, especially when we get the really dense bursts of jacks. There's one particular pattern in this where there's 1-2s and then 3-4s and then 1-2s, 2-3s and then 3-4s.
Yes.
And that pattern, if you're not able to keep up with 140 jacks, you're going to miss. You're going to. There's nothing you can do about it. It's extremely hard to coordinate, and it's basically just a long jack.
Okay, on we go. Song number 9. Winner of this pick guarantees themselves a tiebreaker.
At the very least. GD Mem staying in for this one as well. Interesting to keep him in. Dale with his accuracy and long note ability, and Piggy, the, I think, most consistent player on Canada's side. Staying in. Silweska, Elza, Swarmzy, and Mystriel on the opposite side. Same situation. Probably the A team. Swarmzy missing on one of the 3-note jacks. Not the best start. I was mentioning that before, that those can be very tricky to get right.
Hopefully minute in the grand scheme of things here as we get through this opening. There is a lot to look out for.
GD Mem having some major accuracy issues on that burst, down to the low 99s, and it looks like Philippines is able to get a bit of that score gap reduced off of it. And it looks like they actually might have a lead now, despite the miss from Stormzy.
The slightest of leads, but a lead nonetheless as we hit. And Mystriel finding a break.
Yeah.
Jax, you mentioned.
Yeah, I did mention that pattern. Everything I'm mentioning is getting misses on Philippines. I'm so sorry. 3 full combos from Canada, but still not the biggest lead because of the accuracy that the Philippines is able to maintain. Oh, but a miss from Sileska Elza, but Piggy trades it back. But Mystriel gets another one right there.
And this lead is growing larger for Canada. And again, this map really does not let up much. Oh, that miss from L was a client drop, actually.
Oh, no. Well, it wasn't a client drop. I think there was a weird accuracy thing with Swarmzy does seem to actually miss now as well. That lead on Canada is maintaining itself. GD Mem with a bit of a miss. This is going back. Another miss! Oh my god!
It's about to shift over to the Philippines.
It's on the Philippines side right now. All 3 of the Philippines players are about to be at that 400 combo. They just need to maintain it.
They're going to be getting max points at this point right now, so Canada's going to have to put their foot on the throttle and keep that accuracy high.
This ending's not easy. This ending is not easy.
These Jacks coming in, again, really difficult to hold composure. All of the players in the Philippines keeping it together, though.
And there it goes. They're able to get it. No messes up on the inverse. Philippines brings it 5-4.
And from the depths of a potential loss there, they bring it back. Look at those counts.
Yeah, 2-2 or 1-2-2. The bad judgments aside, that's an insane 200 count spread. But this is saying something when the highest score in the lobby is 984k.
Yeah. And look at how tight the score spread is with the six players too. Lowest being 970. GD Mem just barely missing a single digit 200 count. All of these players are playing out of their mind right now.
Whoa! Canada just picked Sakura Mirage. What? Wait a minute. What is happening?
What?
They just picked the density long note pick. Yo!
I have no words. Oh my god. What?
What is happening? They have to be feeling pretty good. I mean, they won paintings. They did win paintings.
Oh my gosh. This pick by Canada could be such an incredible morale boost because it's yet another LN victory against a team that's pretty damn good at LNs to get themselves to tiebreaker.
Yeah, this is the last pick of this match. Next one, if Canada wins, we're going to tiebreaker. That means that Open Your Eyes and Brain Fog were ignored.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
What a weird 2 maps to ignore. Especially in a match with Canada, where one of the rice charts was banned. No, it wasn't. None of the rice charts were banned. No, Canada banned one of the rice charts. Yeah. What is going on?
This is the COVID universe. We're just living
so
in a different...
confused. I'm so confused.
Oh my gosh. Canada going with the LN density pick for song number 10, looking to win this to push the tiebreaker into this match.
Banking on a long note pick against the Philippines. That is a wager for the ages.
Stone cold stare. We could do this. That is what Canada is saying.
Yeah, they just gave that WWE stare down to Philippines. It looks like so far they're doing pretty well. Having that score lead, L's actually finding some issues. Jay at the same rate. Stability and Piggy both around 99.9. This is a pretty good accuracy lead for Canada up to this point.
Carrying about a 6,500 point lead. Not enough to be unconcerned with the miss, though. A miss will definitely tip it back, but very close regardless. Players on the Philippines are trying to pull their accuracy back, basically all in the same accuracy area.
About to get out of this little stream section, getting into a bit of a Oh, Cyril! Oh, that is a massive miss from Cyril. I don't know if this is possible to come back from.
Sorelia with an absolutely ridiculous column lock, and that could be it for the Philippines right there.
I think that is it. That is 50,000 points that Sorelia just lost there.
And such are the ways with these LN density picks. When you have streams that have alternating patterns where one note repeats a lot, Piggy finding a drop, but nowhere near the damage that Sorelia found. Actually, Piggy's miss was very clean.
Still saying at 99.8. Sorelia dropped to the mid-97s off of that. There would need to be a huge mistake in order to turn this around. I think this is going to be a tiebreaker. This is looking like a tiebreaker in Philippines. Another unfortunate circumstance.
The only way for the Philippines to come back is if we have a repeated note, just get column locked on the Canada side. Sorelia column locking again in the quarter this time around.
And even bigger lead. Canada taking it, bringing it to tiebreaker. Sound Chimera coming out. Oh my god, yo!
Wow, what are those scores? Silhoesca Elze with a V1 double S, but Canada as a unit, single-digit 200s.
What
for
a
the cumulative.
Pick. What a pick from Canada. Stare down worked, I guess.
Wow. In the game of chicken, Canada won big time there.
It looks like Canada didn't even expect to win that. They were going off of a full gamble. They just bet $1,500 on red at the roulette table and won.
Yeah, we don't pick colors, we don't pick evens or odds. We pick the number and we go with it.
We do indeed. Sound Chimera coming out. A very tricky map overall. A bit potentially long note favored, but given what we just saw in Sakura Mirage, I don't know if I can say anything about the expectations of this match.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find the ideal battery here, because now this map is very physical on the right side. The long note's non-trivial, but there's also a really physical element to this, and that has to be kept in mind here. We're seeing Stability and Piggy coming in. Who's gonna be the third player? Are we gonna see Gale come back?
I'm guessing it's gonna be Lofus potentially, because depending on Lofus' ability to keep combo on the LNs, I think he would be the best position. Mystery L coming in, unsurprisingly.
And that's probably going to be taking J?
J, yeah. I think L's, Swarmzy, and Mystery L is going to be the A team for Philippines for this pick. It looks like Jay was having internet issues. He would have been gone by now, I think. So it looks like, yep, there goes Jay. Mystery L will take his spot, and we'll see the third player for Canada come in.
Gosh, what a hell of a way to start this block.
Yeah, Philippines with their second tiebreaker out of 2 rounds.
GD Mem coming in. Is that so? Oh goodness. J1002 apparently having a power outage over at his location. So is this the set we're going to see? Is this the composition we're going to see for these two countries here?
Yeah, there we go. GMM, an interesting choice, but he did show some pretty good prowess on the 2 picks I believe that he played.
And we're seeing the good luck have funs coming out. This appears to be the compositions that are going to be locked in on song number 11 to determine who's going to be moving on into the quarterfinals of winners bracket.
This is so intense. I don't even know what to say.
A well-fought effort by both teams. It is going to culminate in Sound Chimera.
They get a little bit of a break at the beginning. It's about a minute before the actual chart starts, but not to say that the rhythms at the beginning are trivial in any case. They're going to see some weird accuracy things going on at the beginning. Bit of a client break from Els, but accuracy staying above where it needs to be. GDMM having some issues on this early section, but that is not going to matter as much. I think combo is going to be extremely important, and as I say that, Swarmzy does find a break in this intro.
thankfully, with the difficulty of this map, if you wanted to combo breaking early is certainly going to be the way to do it, as long as you don't do it again.
Yeah, that density, as we get further on, the density is going to be very important to keep the combo on, especially when we get to the big Guillermetsiet burst sections and the 2 major long note sections.
Even with the drop by Swarmzy, the scores are very close because Silhoeska Elze and Mystery L having very strong accuracy out of the opening.
This is going to be a scary match to watch once this jump stream starts kicking in. Just ominous.
Yeah, you feel an ominous build-up, and what a way to do it.
Here we go, some faster streams are going to start kicking in. But I think we're going to start seeing some accuracy and combo drops happening once we get into that burst coming up here into the long note section. Stability finds a drop in that weird polyrhythm section, but we're going to see what happens coming up right about now.
We get to the LN density with the Philippines carrying about a 5,000 point lead as Stability tries to climb back up to that combo cap. All 3 players on the Philippines having really good accuracy, 2 FCs on both sides.
Yeah, the accuracy is giving Philippines an advantage, plus that miss from Swarmzy was early enough that it didn't take away his full 400 combo bonus. So that's ultimately going to give them a favor. This upcoming is going to be a big test for Canada, I think.
Yes, this is where the LN foundations are tested and put to the max. It doesn't look that fast, but the patterns are brutal.
No major issues yet. Accuracy is not really changing that much, but the accuracy for Philippines is staying superior at the moment. No combo breaks from them after that intro section has happened, and we're going to be getting into the fast section. GD Mem at the end did find a break, though. They're going to need some breaks from the Philippines now to hopefully give Canada an ability to come back in this. But we've still got 3 minutes left of this chart. We've got lots of time.
It'll be crucial for GD Mem to hold that combo. Very difficult spot to miss, having to deal with the onslaught of Rice here. But it looks like we're going to get through. Actually, Stability finding a miss as well at some point.
Yeah, Mystery L and L's both holding the full combos. Swarmzy holding combo as he has been through the rest of the chart. Piggy with the full combo as well. But Stability and GD Mem are finally at that combo bonus. And as I say that, Stability actually drops combo yet again.
Deceptively difficult anchored pattern there. Very easy to miss on. And Stability, once again, going to have to recover back to that combo cap in this chord jack section.
Yeah, and this chord jack section goes on for quite a bit. There's a bit of more of a Jackie tech section coming up after that you could consider a bit of a break for some people. Like, I think Swarmzy is just like, what would you call it? He's just going through it. He doesn't need to worry about this section, I don't think.
the autopilot of sorts.
Yes, autopilot. That was the word I was looking for.
Both teams just having a pretty solid average act there. Canada sitting around mid 99.5s, while Philippines sitting around 99.75 average for the team. And the pace of this map is going to increase very shortly. Some more opportunities to potentially break combo on both sides.
Yeah, another very difficult long note section coming up. More technical, more choke heavy, I think, than the other LN section that we've seen so far. So it's going to be interesting to see how the 2 teams fare. Something to the point where Philippines could potentially find drops here.
And nobody really flinching, even in terms of 200s on either side here. Both sides handling it decently well.
I want to note that the accuracies from the Philippines, all 3 above 99.7. Okay, I was about to say essentially 3 full combos. Silhoeska Elza does find a drop there. The lead is still in the favor of the Philippines, and we're about to be heading into the final long note section, a repeat from earlier. And Piggy finding a drop from his full combo. It looks like Philippines is going to be able to ride this train home.
Last long note section, Mystery L, the only full combo remaining, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is the only full combo. Swarmzy missed at the very beginning, but it's not going to matter. Philippines going to take their 6th point in the match and bring it home to face either the United States or France. Oh, no full combos! No full combos! No, but still. Philippines does take it. They move on in the winners bracket to winners quarterfinals.
God, the curse was real on the full combo
That
there. Mystery
was
L.
3 misses all at once. Unfortunate, but Philippines
everywhere.
move on, and they will be facing either the United States or France next weekend for the quarterfinals.
Difficult match no matter what here. These counts are impressive all across the board. 7, 16, 14, and 6, all really, really solid. The fact that 33 is the worst on this tiebreaker is kind of absurd to me.
That's ridiculous. 978 being the lowest score, that is also ridiculous. What a match. 2 break points. Only 2. Up to the tiebreaker, and Philippines takes it home.
Yeah, and a very, very hard-fought match by both the Philippines and Canadian teams. Worthy of commendation, both sides. That was a fantastic job by both. They gave it their all, and it showed here. Left it all on the battlefield.